Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Your Morning Drive. I am the host with the most, Logan Lewis, coming to you from Fireworks Studio in Marietta, Georgia. Big shout out to Fireworks for hosting us today. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are someone who isn't an entrepreneur, if you work a 9 to 5, if you are in between things, if you just need a creative space to spend your time, Fireworks can be your place. They're a creative co-working space that uplifts their local community. You can try them for free. You don't have to pay them. Instead, you can come into the space and meet the staff and tell them that Logan sent you, and they'll give you a day pass for free. You can try the space for free if you tell them that you know me from the podcast, or if you book them online at the checkout page, use the code DRIVE, and that will get you that free day pass. So go ahead and check them out. Shout out to Fireworks. Before we dive into the episode, a couple things. Make sure on whatever platform you're on right now, if it's YouTube, if it's Spotify, if it's Apple, go ahead and hit that follow button so that every Wednesday, the episodes come to your phone without missing its mark. It'll be there at 5 a.m. when episodes drop. So just hit subscribe. That way you never miss a beat, never miss a cool conversation, and never miss an episode. All of the things. If you want to, you should follow along on social as well. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, all of the places that you want to see me, you can. Just follow at Your Morning Drive on all of those platforms. Clips, sponsor information, behind the scenes, guests, everything in between is all on social media. So that is the number one place to go follow along if you want to learn more about the show and me. My guest today, everybody, are we ready? My guest today is a real estate powerhouse with grit, heart, and a serious caffeine habit. She's an Air Force veteran, a mom of 3, a wife to a police sergeant, and the current president of the Cherokee Association of Realtors. With over a decade of experience, she's built a thriving business serving North Metro Atlanta, advocating fiercely for families, veterans, and first responders. Known for mentoring new agents, hosting her own show, and answering client texts at all hours, she leads with purpose, humor, and hustle. Please welcome my new friend, Dianna Hornes. What up? How are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you for asking. Wow, that was quite the intro. Holy
Right?
shit. Who's that girl? I want to know her.
She sounds like she's a real estate powerhouse,
She does.
according to the notes.
She sounds pretty cool.
She is pretty
hey,
cool.
Hey, girl. Hey.
So far, so good. Thanks for being here, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, absolutely. Good old days. Love
Good old
that.
days. That's their vodka cranberry.
I like it. Porch swing. Okay, I can sit on the porch with the swing and have this
Hell yeah.
vodka cranberry. Yeah, I
You
like
know
it.
what
It's
they
really
say
good.
is that it's best to enjoy a porch swing on a porch swing.
Yeah.
That is what they say. Similarly, it's best to enjoy the longboat on a longboat.
On a longboat.
Yeah, not a short boat.
Not a
Don't
short
get it wrong,
boat.
Dianna.
No.
I'm so happy that you're here. This is super cool. Thank you for giving me your time.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. So, all right. Podcast, stuff, all the things, real estate.
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? Let's begin first before we get lost in the weeds. Let's go ahead and do it. I usually don't do it this early, but we already mentioned it. Let's talk about Good Days. Good Days is a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink format for any occasion. They've got 4 great flavors. Me and Dianna are sipping on 2 of them. 2 of my favorite, actually my 2 favorite flavors are the Porch Swing. It's a vodka cranberry drink. The Longboat, which is a gin and lime drink. They also have a Heater, which is a whiskey sour, and they've got their base flavor, Better Nights. Get it? Good Days and Better Nights. That is basically like a vodka lime flavor. Good Days has partnered with the show for a solid 1.5 to 2 years. So they're a local company. They're local guys in Marietta that created this brand because they were tired of drinking over-carbonated and, fake ingredients. And Good Days does.
It doesn't have that weird aftertaste. It's very smooth. I actually like it a lot. I'm not like blowing smoke up your ass either. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that lingering weird, what's the sugary?
Yeah. It just doesn't give you that weird aftertaste.
And it doesn't have oh God, this is going to give me heartburn taste either.
Agreed. And that goes so far because I'm getting old and I'm starting to feel the heartburn.
And I've got Tums in my car right now.
So I mean, that's how you know. But so shout out to Good Days for supplying our beverage for the today,
Thank you.
and shout out to them for being dope. So if you live in Georgia, they're sold only in Georgia for now, expanding into other states here shortly. But if you are interested in trying them yourself, you can go to their website, drinkgooddays.com, where you can find out where they are sold near you. You punch in your zip code and it'll tell you all the liquor stores in the surrounding area that sell their drink. So go
Okay.
ahead and
I'll have to
go
do that.
check them out. Drinkgooddays.com. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to consume and to purchase. Where do we begin, my friend?
So no shit, there I was.
There you was. And see, that's the fun stuff there. So, and had a brain fart. But
It's
to
okay.
get
It
around
happens
the
to me
brain fart,
all the freaking time.
welcome to podcasting is you start a sentence, you forget where it's going, and then you go off on a tangent over there, and then you go over there, and then you go over there.
That's my world.
It-
It's ADHD,
yeah.
ADD, whatever you want to
It's
call
the
it these
worst.
days. Yeah.
How do you well, no, before I even ask that, give me your origin story. I mean, where are you from? Parents, siblings, born and raised where?
Okay.
Where what give me the origin.
So the year was 19, and I'm gonna go there. Two young kids. I'm kidding. No, I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Loved it. It was great, nice and freaking hot.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any better because it's all I knew.
Love Phoenix.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's gotten a little ghetto.
Has it really?
God, yes. Oh, at least the parts where I grew up. I mean,
No
the parts where I
way.
grew up were already ghetto, but
Really? Where'd you grow up?
in West Phoenix, West Side.
Damn. I just picked up my wife from the airport. She spent 4 days in Phoenix.
So-
in Scottsdale.
Oh yeah, that's a lot nicer.
Yeah, that's a little
like,
different than
yeah, that's
Phoenix.
way different than,
Yeah.
than like West Phoenix
Sure.
and South Phoenix and Central Phoenix and
All
but
Phoenix, really.
all good part of Phoenix. But yeah, so no, born and raised Phoenix, Arizona. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 siblings. I'm the oldest, but mom had her kids, dad had his kids, so I was the oldest out of both sides.
Wow.
So got the brunt of all of the fun stuff as being the oldest. And yeah, it was an interesting ride there. Funny, not funny with the ghetto part is in my high school. Shout out to Trevor Brown High School. Whoop, whoop.
Trevor Brown.
Bruins. For the first 30 days, my freshman year, legit, there was a gang fight every single day to the point where the security guards were on the rooftops with the VHS video cameras. And they would be looking around every period just to see where the fights would break out. And no joke, every time there was a lunch thing, like people were like, where's the fight? Where's the fight? And we would go rush over. And then the video, the security guards are trying to break it up, but then get everything on camera. Yeah.
Wow.
Very
Shout out to
inner city.
Phoenix.
So that was growing up. But joined the military to get as far away from home as possible to just see the world and spread my wings. And
Was that, sorry to cut you off, was
Yeah.
that always the goal, the military? Did you fall
No.
into it? Did they come to the school and like, win
No.
you over? How did that work?
No, not even a little bit. So I was a little shit when I was in high school. For freshman year, I want to say I ditched 30 days, roughly about 30 days in one semester, not one school year.
Wow.
So I was taking a really, really bad path down a very wrong way. I don't know. Well, I do know. So I started. My mom got into drugs and kind of changed some things around there. Her and I have reconciled. Everything's fine, and she's in recovery. All the things great.
her.
But she got in with a bad crowd
Sure.
at that time, and so I was having to watch and raise my brother and sisters and part of the missing ditching school was because I had to take care of my siblings because my mom would be gone for a few days at a time and we wouldn't know where she was. Which, I mean, yeah, that sucks. I mean, I can talk about it now because I've healed a lot, but it sucked for a long time. But that's just part of my story and it's made me who I am. It's allows me to see different things and different people and understand everyone has a backstory. But it was weird because up until when I was in high school, I mean, she was a great mom. We went to church on Sundays. We had to help make dinner and set the table, say prayers before dinner. Lit a fire in our ass where it scared me that if I ever brought home anything below a B or if I brought home a C, it was like, oh, shoot, my mom's going to beat my ass, But then as I got into high school, it was partly me being rebellious and then partly her going into her stuff that she was going into. And then worlds collided and, I was just in doing wrong kid stuff because, you're a product of your environment for the most part, not for
Sure.
every part.
So you were dabbling?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Doing all the fun stuff,
Yeah.
getting into all the
In high
trouble
school?
in high school.
Well, at least you got it out of the way.
But you know what? My cousin Cindy, she had married someone who enlisted in the army, and they had traveled to Germany. They had traveled to various states, and she just so happened to come back, and she was visiting the family. Maybe it was a holiday. I don't remember when it was, but she was in town and she was visiting, and we were hanging out. She was a cool older cousin, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna hang out with my cousin Cindy."
Oh, yeah. That is such a vibe when your older cousin's like, let's
Yes,
hang out. You're
yes,
like,
fuck
yes.
yeah! Like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
like
You're like, I'm
I'm
in.
cool. I'm cool now.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm one of the adults now.
So Cindy, we went thrifting, and she was telling me all about their time in Germany and how they were able to travel around Europe and just how cool it was. And she just kept saying, Diana, you need to get the hell out of Phoenix. You need to get out of here. You need to just go as far, join the military. And she kept telling me, like, it was maybe a 4 or 5 hour event that we were not event, but trip that we did going thrifting and shopping and all the stuff. And so by the end of that, I was like, you know what? I am going to join the military. She was, yeah, you get your benefits, you get, medical, dental, you can get life insurance, and you get paid and, travel the world, this, that, and the other. She could have been a freaking recruiter, poster child recruiter for
Right.
this, because
Sounds
I was
like
like,
it.
sign me up. So funny thing is, but she's like, but whatever you do, don't join anything but the Air Force. I'm like, okay. She goes, think about it. You could stay at the La Quinta. You can stay at the Motel 8. You can even stay at the Holiday Inn. But wouldn't you rather stay at the Ritz-Carlton? I'm like, fuck yeah, I would. So she's like, if you're going to join the military, at least go to the Ritz-Carlton and join the Air Force. I'm like, okay, I'll join the Air Force. Sure, sign me up. And so I want to say maybe that must have been the summer before my senior year, because my senior year, I course corrected. I got straight A's. In fact, I was talking to a recruiter, and I remember my first meeting with the recruiter. And I walk into his office. I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you about joining the military. My mom's not going to sign off on it, but when I turn 18 in July, I'm all about this. And he's like, okay, well, we have to take the ASVAB. There are a few tests, this, that, and the other, and not agility, but it was, um,
Making sure you're not going to be a liability on the
yeah.
battlefield. Look,
Well, then the other
worst
thing,
case scenario.
the other thing was, he goes, yeah, and then we also have these things called standard military dress standards. And I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever standards, got it, check. He's like, I'm going to need you to step on the scale. I'm like, the fuck? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, everybody, there has to be a proportion to height and weight. I'm like, okay. And so I get on the scale, and he's looking at the charts and making notes. And I'd already taken like a practice ASVAB for him to kind of see where I would fall.
Yeah.
And then you had to ask
it's
me,
okay.
but it's your,
If you don't know,
I don't know the acronym. It's been forever, but it's ASVAB. It's, yeah, we'll look it up later. But it's the standard test for all branches where you test to see where your strengths and weaknesses are. And that's how they put you into your career field, or that's how they give you the options of what you can pick.
Is it like kind of like putting you in scenarios and
Yeah.
you answer like how you would respond to this situation or that situation?
It's everything from what's 1 + 1, because those are for the Marines.
Sure. She said it.
I know they're going to come after me later. It's fine.
Yeah, they are. Right.
But that's the other thing with the military. We have a fun banter where we can talk shit to each other left and right, and it's still it's a weird way of showing respect and camaraderie.
Well, because you all share one thing,
yes,
nothing else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so it's everything as basic as addition to, geometry, to word problems, to, if you were to have this weird puzzle and flip it around and unpack it, what are the ways that it would lay? And I'm like, well, I don't know. But based on where your scores are, it allows you to be open to certain career fields. And obviously, the higher the score, the more opportunities you have, in the better security, the more higher security clearances you have to, jump through hoops to get jobs for. So took the practice test, and then I get on the scale, and he's like, all right, well, you are 5'4" and you weigh 185 pounds. So when you lose 35, possibly even 40 pounds, you can come talk to me again. I was devastated. I was like, oh shit, this grown ass man just told me I needed to lose weight. That's
Not just lose
embarrassing.
weight, lose 40 pounds.
That was really
He's
embarrassing.
like, yeah, I want you to take down a quarter of your weight. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that part sucked. But, I was very determined because I looked around, not to take anything away from the love that my family gave me and showed me, but I looked around and I was like, I need to get out of here. This isn't for me. I need to be somewhere else, and this isn't it. So every day I would come home and I would go run 4 miles, and then I would make like chicken and rice and vegetables and eat that for dinner. And I would go to bed super early and wake up super early. I was also working at Charles Schwab in one of the intern positions that they had out there. So I would have to take 2 buses to get there, 2 city buses after school, and then come home and still work out. And I lost the weight, obviously, because I joined the military. And that was pretty much how I got there.
Wow. Because if it was me in that position and they were like, you need to lose 40 pounds to get in the military, I'd be like, well, I didn't want to do this anyway. No,
Nah, I'm good.
I say no, totally joking, but thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for serving our country. Because I could never, just because I know myself, but also because I have asthma and they won't take me probably.
Oh, yeah, no, they won't take you. I'm sorry.
They won't.
No. Mm-mm.
Yes. So if there's another draft. No offense, but
No,
if there's a draft, sorry, Trump, I'm not in. Or whoever's in charge at that time. But yeah, I just.
but I
So what makes the Air Force the Ritz-Carlton of the branches? Is it just your quarters or the base is nicer?
everything. So my husband's an Army veteran as
Okay.
well. And we have very dissimilar military experiences. For instance, he called it the barracks and we called it the dorms.
Wow. So the Army is like, you're in the shit.
You're in the shit. But you're still above the Marines. But don't
Damn.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong before they come and hate for me and all this stuff. Marines, I tip my hat because if the branches were only one branch and it was the Marines, I probably
Wouldn't have joined.
would have been very hesitant to join, but I still would have joined and it would have sucked even more. A lot more, mucho más mejor more. So don't get me wrong. I talk a lot of crap to
Yeah.
Marines. I have a lot of Marine friends, but they hold my highest respects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Marines had that, like, I don't want to say reputation, but like that kind of status, like being at the bottom.
Oh yeah, they get the grunt work, the shit. They get the worst of the worst and the worst of the worst conditions. Marines and Army kind of fight for the same position on that.
Yeah.
Army is more grunt work, but they both are usually the first ones to deploy out. To me, they're the hardest working in the military. So yeah.
I was gonna say, in my head, with being someone who doesn't know how it works, it sounds like that if they were to send troops on the ground, it would be either the Marines or the Army to
Yeah.
go first. It would
Depends
not
on
be the
depends
Navy
on the
or the Air
situation.
Force.
Yeah, no.
But of course.
Well, yeah, it depends on the situation. Sometimes, the Marines are a branch of the Navy, and that's why you always see them together.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, so that's why Navy Marines are always together. They are separate, but they're the same, if that makes any sense. And I know I'm going to get corrected a million times on this, but
So they're like, the Marines is almost like the land version of
Yeah.
the Navy, but it's like a treaty branch. They just kind of, branch. But either way, okay, cool.
So yeah, but yeah, they get the shit end of the stick, so to say, and so do the Army. Navy, I mean, they're a bunch of goofballs.
Really? That's fun.
I mean,
I always told myself if I joined the military, because I did consider it at one point, I did go through Air Force ROTC.
Oh.
I don't want to brag, when I was in high school, so it was JROTC. But at that point in my life, I was like, I'm joining the military. But my only experience and I guess window into the military was the fact that I played Call of Duty. And I was just like, this is sick. I love Call of Duty. And then the people came to my middle school and they were like, when you get to high school, you should join Air Force ROTC. And I was just like, fuck yeah. I was like, you mean I get to wear that sick ass uniform at school? Little did I know that the rest of the school thought that I looked silly.
yeah.
And the rest of the ROTC. But I didn't care at the time. I thought it was the shit. I got to go to the military ball.
Did you really?
Well, I mean, at my school. They just held like a dance 4 ROTC people and called it the military ball.
Yeah, that would be September 18th Air Force Ball because that's the anniversary
Okay.
of the Air Force. I should know that, and I do know that. Thank
Wow.
you very much.
Look at you go.
Can I remember it because it's my grandmother's birthday.
Oh, well, there you go.
But yeah, so we have very dissimilar military experiences, my husband and I. The little things like that, or when he deployed, we both have deployed. He went to Iraq and Afghanistan a few times, and I went to Pakistan, Islamabad. And in my version of it being a bare base, side story, when we had flown in to Islamabad, you had to fly in at night because just security purposes. And when we were flying in, they had to turn off all the lights everywhere because a lot of and again, this is right after September 11th too. So it's craziness on both sides. Nobody knows what's going on, where, when, why. So you're flying in, you have to turn off all the lights. And then they're telling us that the locals are shooting, whatever that they can, either bullets or whatever that they had at the planes. And so I just remember sitting in there and thinking like, what the hell did I get myself into? Like, holy shit, this is really happening. Oh my God, I'm here. And then all of a sudden the plane, you feel it go down and you're just like, oh, okay, this is it. We're going. And oh, wow, this wasn't so bad. It was kind of fucking cool, after you land and everything.
Yeah.
So as we're taking all the equipment off the plane, or we're about to start walking off the plane in the back, this one Army guy comes running up. He's like, yes, the Air Force is here. The Air Force is here. I could see it clear as day. And it's so funny because when the Air Force, because the Marines and Army, they get there, they check everything, they set perimeter, they make sure everything's good. And then
safe for more people to come.
So then the Air Force comes in and we bring air conditioning, heaters, tents,
Nice.
lifestyle fun. Well, lifestyle
So
fun.
they come in with the bare minimum, and then you guys come in once it's like, okay, thumbs up, you guys can come in and you bring the shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We bring all the toys.
Heard. Very fun.
So that was interesting. But where my husband literally had like a tent that he had to put together. We came in, and at first, the first night I stayed there, I'm like, I was on a cot in a tent and I put my feet down and I'm like, well, this is mud. This is gross. And then 2 days later, our civil engineer, our CE group came over and they were building platforms out of wood so we could put our beds on there, our cots on there, and then we wouldn't be stepping into mud. So it's little things like that and then there's also because some of their bases are substandard to what the Air Force has. And so when we do go to, I'm laughing because it's funny, not funny. When we do have to stay on their bases, we get a higher pay. Or at least that's how it was when I was still there.
Yeah, they're compensating for the fact that the bases suck ass. That is
that's going back to the Ritz-Carlton. That's going back to the Ritz-Carlton.
All right.
Reference. So yeah, can you see where that distinction is made now?
For sure.
I mean, you still have to deal with all the military BS and red tape and all of that, and it takes 97 people to make a decision. Yeah.
Besides that joking, not joking moment of like, oh my God, the plane's going down, we're gonna die. Were you ever put in a situation where you were convinced that you could die?
I think there's
besides like the plane coming in and landing, and you're thinking like, oh, the locals are shooting stuff at our plane. We could get hit by something.
Yes and no. It was, this is going to sound really weird and dark and morbid, but at the same time, it was like, this is so exciting. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Oh my God. But the realness of it doesn't really hit you until after you leave, I think. For me, I got to see, this was before drones and all that came about. So I was in Pakistan. I was telling somebody else the same story the other day. And we were sharing military stories. And I'm like, I remember when I was brushing my teeth, because, you don't really go to a bathroom to brush your teeth. You stand outside your tent with the water bottle and you brush your teeth. And I just remember being super early in the morning and I'm looking off into the horizon. And I see this weird plane. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh my God. I'm like, just brushing your teeth. You're like, what the hell is going on? And it was a UAV. And I mean, but it was before they were really out. Because again, this is 2001. So that technology was there, but it wasn't really, I mean, that's what, 24 years ago. And so I'm brushing my teeth, and then out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, it's still far enough away, but it's like, yeah.
And it just explodes?
It crashed. I don't know.
Shoot it down, maybe?
No, I don't know if it got, I don't think it got shot down. And I never thought about that actually until you said that.
Because I used to shoot down UAVs all the time in Call of Duty. But anyway, continue.
But no, I never thought about that. I always thought it just like lost control and just crashed and whatever. I never thought that, yeah, maybe it could have been shot down. I don't think it was, but it was far enough away. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
They didn't run that through me. I didn't approve those scenarios. So nobody really told me what was going on at that time. But I never really felt threatened. The only one time that I felt that it was something uncomfortable was there was at that time there was really big tension between Pakistan and India, and we had to
No
carry.
way.
I know, right? Go figure. But yeah, this was the first time I'd ever been exposed to
Sure.
hearing about those countries being in turmoil and whatnot. So in my, how old was I? What, 20-year-old brain, 21-year-old brain,
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh. And we had to carry our chem gear everywhere we went because we didn't know if something was going to pop off. And we're like, all right, chem gear, blah, blah, blah. So when you put on a chem gear mask, you have to like suction it to your face. And there's a way to like suck in. So that way, that was the reference to that to make sure it's secure around your
Would have
face.
just gone over my head.
I figured I had to explain that
Thank
because
you
it
for
was a
explaining it
weird
to me.
motion.
That's why I was just gonna go with it and be like, that's probably some military thing. I don't know. Wow. Very interesting. And so then when did you meet your husband? Was it in the military?
First husband, yes. Second husband, no.
Heard.
So yeah, first husband, he technically was an officer and I was enlisted. So there's a little fraternization going on there.
Ooh.
No, naughty, naughty.
I've seen that movie before.
But
Stupid.
yeah, it's a good movie. But we got married after I got out of the military so when I got in, I was actually, my birthday was in July, and again, the whole school year had happened. I lost my weight and I was on the delayed entry program because they could not find me. There was the career fields that I wanted to go into was something easy like finance and admin. I was just going to take it easy and kind of skirt my way through.
Yeah.
And he's like, the way that we have to time your basic training and your tech school is, we have to make sure that they kind of line up because it's 6.5 weeks of basic training. And then you go into your tech school right after. He's like, there's nothing available for months. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean months? I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here. And so October of 99, I'd gotten into a car accident and I had gotten bruised from a car had T-boned. My girlfriend was driving and we were making a left-hand turn and a Jeep had T-boned us. And so I was in the
Wow.
passenger seat and I was bruised from my knee to my hip bone. I couldn't walk for 3 days. And so that kind of, messed me up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I finally hit a point where in fact, my around that same time, I had a beater car. It was an '88 Mercury Topaz, baby powder blue, and it was having so many mechanical issues, and I was constantly having to take it to the shop. And they're like, "Yeah, you're going to have to pay us $800 because your thingamabopper is discombobulated with the whatchamacallit." And I'm like, "Oh my god, is that serious?" They're like, "Yeah, it's really serious." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I was taken advantage of, and I was really pissed off. And my dad, I mean, we weren't really close, but he showed me, I was staying at his house at that time because, shit had hit the fan with my mom. And so I was living with my dad at the time and he's like, let me show you how to change your oil. I'm like, okay, cool. And so he's like, all right, you're going to get this stick, pull it out, check it, and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh my God, is this all there is to it? I could freaking do mechanics. My recruiter's been telling me he's got mechanic jobs open all the freaking time. And so right after that, I went to my recruiter and I'm like, hey, give me a mechanic job. I need to get the fuck out of here. So he's going, it's funny because, everything was printed off. So
Yeah.
he's going through his book like, all right, well, I've got this job and then there's this job and you can do this jet mechanic and you can be this kind of this. But then depending on what you do, certain bases, I guess they specialize in certain things. So certain bases only have heavies and some bases only have firefighter. I can't talk. Fighter jets. And so based on that will determine what your availability is to travel. And I was like, no, I want to be able to travel everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I've got the job for you. And he's like, and this one comes with an enlistment bonus. I'm like, really?
You're like, oh shit.
Okay.
Let's
He's like,
hear
yeah.
more about that enlistment bonus.
Yeah, if you sign up for 6 years, you'll get $6,000. I'm like, well, shit, where do I sign? You know?
Yeah. You're like, what's 10 years going to get me? Shit.
So that's how I got into mechanics. And so technically my job was an aerospace ground equipment mechanic, which was
Wow.
age
Hey,
and age. If you're an age ranger, aerospace ain't no danger to an age ranger.
whatever you have to tell yourself.
I know, right? But it was essentially working on all of the equipment that prep the planes for takeoff. So small diesel engines, small jet engines, bomb lifts, hydraulics, heaters, air conditioning units. So those are all the things that would prep the planes on the flight line for taking off and make sure their
It's an important
systems.
job.
Yeah, very important.
Huge job. If you fuck up, then you're the person between a pilot and his air condition on his 22-hour flight from A to B.
Yep. So that sucks.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so you serve in the military. You serve for 6 years, and you get out of the military. You're back in America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I hesitated there.
Dumb.
You went back to Cambodia. No, you got back to America. You're donezo. Go back to Phoenix immediately.
Yes. So
Okay.
I actually, when I got out, I was actually, joined the military to get as far away from home as possible. My first base was in Las Vegas, Nellis. My second base, I got to go to Korea for a year. And then I got stationed after Korea at Luke Air Force Base, Phoenix, fucking Arizona. Funny story is my girlfriend, Sandy, she joined the military she tried to get as close to home as possible, and they sent her ass to fucking Guam.
So was that just pure chance that you got sent to Phoenix, or do they look at things and say, oh, well, this is nearing the end of her time, so maybe we'll send her to Phoenix just to live out her last couple of years?
Yes and no. So it's all based on they call it a dream sheet because it's a dream to have, and then there's reality. So you fill out your dream sheet of where you would like to go, where you would like to PCS, and they base it on necessity, need. So
Availability, necessity, all those things.
Yep. So I got sent back home.
Wow. Quivers.
Yeah. It's all good though.
Yeah. Awesome. Who knew that on this podcast we'd talk about the military for 30 minutes?
All right. Has it been 30 minutes?
It's been 30
Oh
minutes.
shit, I'm sorry. All right, let's talk about something else.
No, it's good. This is part of your story. This shapes you to who you are today. So that's all important. So you're in Phoenix. Did you move back in with dad at this point?
I did for a minute. No, just as soon as I came back, moved in with my dad and my stepmom, and then I got some roommates, and then moved in with them, and then got out of the military because it was overpopulated. Essentially, they were downsizing certain career fields. So unless I wanted to reenlist in a critically manned career field, that would be the only reason why I would be allowed to reenlist. And I wasn't open to the positions that were there. And so I had to get out. And that part sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would have stayed.
I want to say that I would have, but I don't know. Hindsight 2020, you never know.
Okay, so done with the military. What's your first move career-wise?
Well,
Just
a bunch of like assistant jobs.
Yeah,
assistant jobs. And then my ex-husband's company moved us to Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And then from Dallas, Texas, that's how we got to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And then, he's a narcissist and all the things. And an asshole.
You heard it here first, folks. Narcissist.
Yeah.
That's a condition that is incurable, they say.
So then we ended up and then his company moved us to Charlotte. That's where we had my second daughter. And then he got fired because he's an idiot. And then
Love that for him.
he ended up getting hired with another company that brought us back to Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm very grateful for that because that's where I ended up divorcing him and meeting my new husband. Yay!
Shout out to new husband.
Husband 2.0 because that's an upgrade.
2.0 is an upgrade. We love that for you and for him, not for the first husband. But, shit happens.
Shit happens. We live and we learn.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
don't come for me, bro. If you want me to take that out, I will.
Nope, you can leave that shit in.
All right, bet. Okay, so you're in Atlanta, divorce. You have both of your children at this point.
Yes.
2 kids.
So I knew that I didn't want to go back to Phoenix. Also because I had a really good job. I wasn't in real estate at the time. I had a really good job, had great benefits, and at the time, I didn't want to be the person that took someone's kids away from them. So I was like, you know what? Things are how they are with each other, with us. Doesn't mean I don't want you to have a relationship with your girls. And they are the reason why I stayed in Georgia for the most part. Because again, when a narcissist's around in a relationship, you don't have any family, you don't have any friends, and they're all you have. So you have no network. So I had nobody. When the girls would go to visit him on his weekends, I would mow the grass and I sat around and I went grocery shopping. So
couldn't take advantage of mommy-less weekends.
no, 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 especially with all the shit that he put me through, but that's for another story.
Sorry. Okay.
So yeah, divorced him. I told myself I'm going to give it 1 year, one full year. I'm not going to date anyone. I'm not going to go out, not going to do anything. And then that year went by and I focused on the girls and being a single mom and doing all the things that I needed to do. And so finally it was like October of 2014, and I created a profile on eHarmony and Match.com.
Woo!
I went on a lot of first dates because a good bit of the guys were either not what they appeared to be on their profile, or they wouldn't shut the fuck up. There was one guy in particular, in fact, the quote that I always still say to my husband, and that's where you're wrong. Because I love local business. I love supporting local business so much so where I don't care for chain restaurants because they're not very healthy and they just don't taste as good as like home cooked from like a local
There's
business.
a huge difference.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to your Chili's and Red Lobster. So I had it in my profile that, if you want to
pop shop.
Yeah, if you want to take me on a date, do not take me to a chain restaurant. Also, if you spend your weekends watching football, playing video games, or doing all these things, don't bother messaging me. I figured I was just going to be as mean and ruthless as possible.
Wow.
So that way, if they were interested, it's like you saw the red flags here, right?
Right. So why are you here?
So why are you here?
Yeah.
And then I saw his picture and profile, and at first he said my husband wasn't interested. At the time, he wasn't interested with someone with kids. And I saw his picture and I'm like, you know what?
I'm going to convert this man.
I'm going to send him a message. It was like, hey, my name is Dianna. I have 2 monsters at home. Check out my profile. If you're interested, let me know. If not, have a nice life. Is how I sent it.
Wow.
Didn't hear back from him for like 2 weeks. Didn't think anything of it. Whatever.
Wow.
And
then he responded.
And then he responded.
Wow.
He was really thinking it over. He's like, do I want to get involved with someone with kids? I don't know.
Damn.
Best decision ever.
Yeah. You shot your shot.
Yep.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
My husband says that quote all the time.
All the time. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep, he says that all the time, and I've been repeating it lately.
So it sounds like Match.com and eHarmony really leveled up and elevated your life.
Sucked. Match.com was way better.
Well, we love to elevate. So good for you, good for him, good for everyone involved. But can I tell you about something?
Yeah, go for it.
I like to push people in the right direction to elevate their business. Do you know how?
How?
By telling them about one of my friends of the podcast, Branded and Devoted Designs. Can I tell you about them?
Yes, please do.
I'll tell you about them.
I want to hear all about it.
You might want to hear about them, in fact. If you're looking to level up your company, but not in the online way, in the merch way, in the swag way, your brand deserves better than boring swag. We've all been to networking events. We've all been to golf tournaments where you get a little goodie bag and there's a bunch of shit in there that's like a pen or a golf tee or shit you'll never use. And you're like, yeah, it was free, but like all of this is going in the trash. Well, Branded and Devoted Designs are an expert local team. They're local to the great city of Harley, Georgia.
Ooh.
And they can put your company logo on anything, Diane. They can throw it on a hat, a t-shirt, a coffee mug, a glass, a jar, literally anything. Quite literally. When I first met these people, I said, what can you put my logo on? And he said, buddy, I can put your logo on anything. And he has. Branded and Devoted Designs, they supply all of the merch from your morning drive. They make the hats, they make the beautiful coffee mugs that you can see in the video. They make everything that has my logos on them. I've used them for years and I have never been disappointed. They just love helping small businesses thrive with cool swag. You'd be surprised how far cool swag will get you. If it's been a while, if you have new employees and you need some t-shirts, maybe some nice collared shirts with your company logo on it, snag a couple. Dave can do anything. That's his name, Dave Davis, with Branded and Devoted Designs. And if you go to them and you say, hey, I heard about you from my friend Logan, or there's a podcast I listened to called Your Morning Drive, and they talked about your company, he'll give you 10% off. So
Hell yeah.
take advantage of it. Get some swag for your company. Excuse me. Get 10% off of your merch. You deserve better than boring swag.
That's right.
So, where were we? See, I told you.
I know. Squirrel. Well, I met my husband.
Match.com. Yeah. Shouts to Match.com. Suck it, eHarmony.
Yeah.
Lovely. So you guys link, you go on some dates, and it just works.
So we met. Our first date was on Black Friday of 2014.
Wow.
And we were married by October 15th, 2015.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
when you know, you know.
You do know.
Yes.
You
and
do.
that man, like, to this day, to every fucking day, he hung the moon. Like, I am
Awesome.
so in love with that man. Don't have, other than, like, he doesn't change out the toilet paper roll sometimes. That really bothers me. But other than that, he is, like, perfect.
Wow. If that's the one thing you're sucking at, buddy, I think you're doing all right. So shout out to you, my friend. What's his name?
Dennis. Dianna Hornes.
Dennis the Menace. Shouts to Dennis for not, does he at least, if he does put it on, does he at least put it on the right way?
He'll put it next to the fucking toilet thing, and it drives me crazy.
Oh, that's the worst.
Or sometimes I'll get there after he goes to the bathroom. I'm like, where the heck? There's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, you knew you took the last. Why couldn't you refill it?
Yeah. You're like, now I'm going to waddle to the closet.
I know. No, I just sit there and I yell, or I'll text.
Like, help.
The fucking toilet paper.
I did that in my first job out of college. I went into the bathroom and the cleaning people at the office building did not restock the toilet paper. So I had to text my boss, who I had known for 2 weeks at this point, and
That's
I
funny.
said, hey, can you bring me some toilet paper? And I got shit for it, no pun intended, for the foreseeable future of my employment there. It was horrible, but it teaches you a lesson. When you go into that damn stall,
Yeah.
you make sure there's toilet paper.
Yeah.
And it's never happened to me since.
But yeah, so married him, and the rest was history. So I got licensed. Actually, why did I say October 15th? October 15th is when I got licensed. October 17th, I feel like an asshole now, is when we got married.
Wow.
I know. That almost
Two
never.
important days, though.
Yes.
And they happened right after each other.
Yeah, so I got licensed in real estate on October 10th, or oh my God, October 15th.
The porch swing is hitting, guys.
I know, it is. It's delicious, by the way. I highly recommend. Oh, and I just hit the mic. I'm so sorry.
I'm suing you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, not the first.
Shit.
You ain't living life unless you've been sued, right?
Wow, I've never been sued before. Can you sue me just so I know what it's like?
Oh.
You're not going to get much. You might get a couple mics and some
Like, can I get
cocktails.
Oh, like I get some cocktails.
I'll bring you a 4-pack. That'll do.
Settled.
Sweet.
Settled out of court.
Sick. Don't even have to go to court. Don't have to pay those legal fees.
Yeah.
Okay, so why real estate? Why did you decide to jump into that pond?
I've always wanted to. My stepmom was in real estate, and I remember her learning and doing all the things. And in Arizona, we have a lot of swap meets, and at least that's my family. We would always go to swap meets because my grandparents would sell Native American kachinas and pottery and all that stuff.
Very cool.
So I remember going to the swap meets with my stepmom and passing out flyers and helping her, get business. And in fact, when I was living in Arizona, after I got back from being in, overseas and whatnot, and I came back to Luke Air Force Base, she helped me buy my first house. And I'm pretty sure I was her first sale too.
Oh, sick.
In real estate. So that would have been 2004, 4.
Wow.
And then, so just ever since then, I've always liked it. My grandparents, grandparents, they're always supportive. Like, oh, baby, you would be perfect at this. You're such a people person and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't have the confidence then. I tried to get my license when I was living with Asshat in Texas. That's his name, his nickname, by the way. I never really said that out loud over a podcast, but we can keep that on there. It's fine.
Wow. Love it.
So I tried to get my license in Texas, and I wasn't allowed to go to school, really. I was only allowed to go to school because my GI Bill was paying us a monthly income. But outside of that, he wasn't really helping me or trying to help me go to school or supporting me in school.
Heard.
And so I've always wanted to do it. I've always been curious about it. And then I actually got fired from a job that I had. And it's funny, not funny, but because I am who I am,
What'd you do?
I didn't do it. So it was a personality conflict. And it was one of those where I was communications coordinator. So this is way before like when social media was coming out and everybody needed like a communications person.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting that position where I was working. And we ended up getting a new boss, a new CEO. And he didn't understand social media. He didn't understand any of it. And he would say something and I would not push back, but I would tell him, no,
Right.
this is how it's done. This is how we're performing it, whatever. And he didn't quite understand it. So and he was a micromanager. So there were things that didn't get his approval, but they were approved. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So that's where the personality conflict came. And in fact, so I technically still to this day do not have a college degree. And so what he did, because I did everything I was supposed to, I went above and beyond in my position that I had. So he had no other course or reason or reprimand or anything to put against me. So you know what he did to fire me? He changed my job description to include I needed a college degree. And since I didn't have a college degree, I was no longer qualified for the position. And he let me go.
Wow, what a motherfucker.
Fuck you, Jim.
I love how unhinged this woman is. This is exactly what I was waiting for and what we hyped up over text that like we were gonna have a great time and
So
we're doing it.
yeah, we're doing it. So fuck you, Jim.
Shout out to Jim and Asshat.
But so when the word got out, word on the street got out, like, oh my God, Dianna doesn't have a job. She's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And so I had so many job offers because of how good I was at what I did that, I had folks that are reaching out to me over the weekend. And by that Monday, Tuesday, I had landed another position.
Amazing.
Yes. Just because of
just your reputation.
My reputation.
That's
exactly.
amazing.
But so I tried, I had that position. I didn't really care for it. And then still trying to find my way, got another position like that because everybody wanted me. This sounds really weird. And I feel like an asshole saying it like that, but I was good at what I did.
Yeah.
But the whole time, I'm with Dennis and he, totally supported me and picked me up off the floor then. And, so we ended up getting married in October. And then around that time, he's like, you've always wanted to go into real estate. Why don't you go to, real estate school at night and then I'll watch the girls and then, you can do this real estate thing. And that's what I did. So
we love a supportive king.
Yes, he is very awesome.
Wow.
So did all of that, got into real estate and holy shit, it's been a wild ride. It's been insane. Oh my gosh, the changing markets from 2015 all the way to the market, 2020 and then to now, it's just been an evolution for sure.
It's been a lot. This is real estate anyway, but it's been even more like.
And that's usually like, it's usually like that in a day sometimes too.
Yeah.
It can be like, oh my God, I have 3 listings. And then fuck, I got this contract that blew up. I've got that contract that blew up. This person's upset about whatever. And then my I'm wanting to punt up the deck and then I'm stuck in traffic. So it's like all the things, coming at you. And that's like in an hour. And then the next minute you're like, oh my God, everything's fine. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love what I do,
Yeah. Wow. Real estate. How fun. So how
alcoholics are made.
Well, that's what I've heard. I have heard that before. Real estate agents, they love to party, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Which
we like to party.
So, okay, real estate.
For a good time, call me.
For a good time showing you homes, she's your girl.
I'm your home girl.
There's your advertisement. That's all you get. I'm just kidding. You get more later. You get more later. How do you, I try to ask this of everybody who comes in and sits down in here that offers a service, runs a business, etc. How do you convince, because I know real estate is a very relationship-based business. How do you put yourself in a position where people want to utilize you other than all of the other amazing realtors we have out there?
So everyone has their thing, and it's all about being in flow with people. And this is where I'm just going to get a little serious. So
sure.
I genuinely love helping people to where I feel like I pick up on their energy when I'm sitting across them at the table. And, I know that they're going through some hardship or whatever. I am just there to comfort them. And because I'm so genuine about it, I think they pick up on that as well. And, it helps, especially like my business is my business because of my sphere. the people that we know, like, and trust already. Uh, and it's because they've referred me to their friends and family, and then their friends. And once they've done business with me, then they refer me to their friends and family. So it's a lot of my business has very been Jesus fucking shit. I cannot pronounce wording is difficult today. Diana sentence take two. But it's one of those where my business has been very passive for me. I have gone on listing appointments against, I was one of 7 agents and I got the listing appointment very young in my business because I'm not afraid to pick up the phone. So that's how I started my business is calling what they call expired. So when a home is listed with the one agent, it falls off the market because days on market, it's been too long, or they decide to fire their agent and just fall off the market or something happens. There's a list that gets sold and then people call and it's me. Usually I'm so sorry if I called you and you cussed at me and I called you back, but it's just persistence, calling expireds, and then, door knocking. That's how I started. And then because again, I came from a place of not having any friends, barely knowing my coworkers, and then not having any family here. So I had to rely on this is how you do business. Boom, pick up the phone and call, pick up the phone and call. And then I started that way. And then the broker I had at the time saw that I had potential and put me on where he was trying something out with his top 10 agents. He threw me in the mix in there, just kind of like a wild card to see how well I did. And I did very well. At one point with that brokerage, I had 7 listings that I was able to acquire. And then my naiveness, once I decided to leave, I didn't realize he was going to keep them. And so I had to fight for them. Um, I was able to keep one of them because my client refused to stay with that broker because that was the one that was like, out of 6, 7 other agents, I hired you, not the fucking brokerage.
Right.
So I didn't have to pay out on that one, but that was out of 7 at the time. I was like, oh my God, this sucks. I had to give up all the commission on that too. And he just handed them to another agent. So that hurt a lot. Yeah. So that was how I started my business, is just being genuine with people and having heart-to-heart conversations with them at the table, and then them telling their friends, and then they become a past client, and then they tell another friend. Because the other thing with that is I stay in contact with my clients, my past clients. They're my friends. And that's how I've been able to grow my friend list, whatever, just through that. And doing a lot of networking and just a lot of grassroots approach to starting and getting business.
What is your least? I know. So you love real estate, obviously, because you've been doing it.
Because I'm nosy as shit and I love going through people's houses. I don't go through like drawers or refrigerators and things like that, but I will.
Like, let me see this.
I want to see this closet. Oh my God, I want to see what's in here. Look at this pantry. Like, oh, they eat that crap. Like, oh.
Yeah, RFK would be all over their pantry. So what do you, stupid, what's your least favorite part of the home buying process?
The home buying process. So when I'm representing a buyer,
Sure.
the least favorite part of that is, I would say, well, it depends. Because there's different parts that are difficult. Like, hey, you didn't get the offer. They picked somebody else. That part is pretty rough.
Having to break the news.
Like, yeah. Hey, we didn't get the offer, what have you. They didn't tell me why, or there was like 20 other bids. Those days really sucked hard because you had people that were strapped, that they couldn't even go, they're like, we have to be out by this day. We can't afford an Airbnb right now. We just need to get in the house. And so those conversations sucked. I don't know, because I really enjoy the home inspection part, teaching folks about it, things that I've learned along the way. Those parts suck. And then on the selling side, I think the part that sucks the most is the conversations you have to have with sellers when their house smells, or when there's things that needs to get corrected, but they're not in a good mental state, or financially they can't afford it.
Sure.
Those parts are hard because you still have to be gentle, but you have to be firm with, expectations and what,
Setting expectations is hard.
It is.
It is tough. I mean, yeah, having to tell someone like, listen, you guys smoke in your house. Your chances compared to, you could have a same cookie cutter house as the neighbor.
Yep.
But the neighbor's going to sell because their house doesn't smell like cigarettes.
Yeah. I mean, deep down they know. It's just they're trying to think that maybe you don't know.
It's an external force besides themselves telling them.
Yeah.
It's like when your mom yells at you to clean your room, but you're already like cleaning your room and you're just like, I know. And it's frustrating to hear it from someone else, but
Yeah,
it's tough shit. I mean,
it is. But you know what? You get paid in correlation to the tough conversations
yeah.
that you have. And I think because I'm able to have those tough conversations with a gentle hand and an understanding, and, I think that's what I've been able to be, how I've been able to be well received.
Don't jump down my throat at this next
Ah,
comment because
shit.
I'm going to say a sentence, but don't fight me halfway through the sentence. I've always just been fascinated, honestly, about real estate and the fact that it is, or it can be, a very selfish business, but only in the regard of, I'm trying to weave this into the fact that, so you're the president of this association for Cherokee County.
Yeah.
Real estate is a business in that if the sale doesn't happen with you, you're not getting the commission. If the, whatever happens, you're not getting paid. And you dump, time and money and energy and wear and tear on your vehicle. You're dumping all this stuff into a thing. And then you could be chasing a home with someone for 6 months and then they'd be like, you know what? I guess it's just not the right time. And you're just like, motherfucker, I've put 10,000 miles on my car driving around the state for you. And what I'm trying to get at is how I'm always so impressed about how real estate agents really like bundle themselves together, because at the end of the day, you guys are competition of each other. But I've always admired how much you guys work together to better people's visibility, client communication, social media. Like, you guys really band together. And I've always thought that was really cool because of the fact that at the end of the day, if you lose business to her, you're not getting paid. So, like, how do you deal with that? Is that a really shitty way of thinking?
No, not at all. I mean,
I hate
it's a
but
serious thing.
but it's I've always just been so fascinated with the fact that you guys are just like, yeah, fuck yeah. If you don't like me, go to her.
Yeah, no, it's a serious thing. I mean, good good days helped.
Uh-huh.
But so when it comes to things like, I mean, I lost a listing recently. I had it on the market, wasn't able to sell it, and I get it. She needed to get it sold, and everything I was trying to throw at it and figure out and advertise and word of mouth and all the things didn't happen. And so she went with another realtor. And, with everything that happens like that, I learned from it all. So I learned, okay, what did this agent do differently? And it's a good friend of mine.
I was gonna say, and then would you
Well,
ask that
I
person?
mean,
Like,
an
what did you do to
acquaintance.
get
I would
this
say
happen?
acquaintance. So, like, we know of each other. We're very respectful of who each other are. And, like, I would go up to her and give her a hug, that kind of thing. Like, hey, girl, what's up?
Yeah,
Um, it's one of those where it's like, okay, I get it. It's business. It's not personal. I know it had nothing to do with me because as a person, but business
sure.
wise, yeah, she needed to go somewhere else. And that's fine. Maybe she has resources that I don't. And ultimately, she needs to get the house sold because I know her situation. So I was upset, but I wasn't upset, but it still stung.
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh, shit, she went with my friend and my friend didn't tell me about it. I'm like, oh my God, but I get it. I get it because there's also things where you can't coach somebody else to how to get out of a contract.
sure.
But then when buyers and sellers start using terminology, you're like, bitch, I know who the fuck you're talking to. I was born on a day and it wasn't yesterday.
It
Yeah.
wasn't last night.
Yeah.
It's so always so funny to think about how the differences between like corporate world versus small businesses. Cause in like the corporate world, when you're like bidding against another company to get a job or a project or a contract or whatever, it's always just like motherfuckers. But like in the small business world, it's like if I'm a real estate agent and you didn't go with me, but you went with a mutual friend of mine or Diane or something, I'd be like, cool. Glad
Yeah.
that you were able to get it done.
I've gone against other big agents in listing appointments. And it's one of those where it's like, if they don't pick me, I better hope to God they don't fucking pick them either. Because if they fucking pick them, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then when I found out that neither one of us got it, I'm like,
Whew, now I don't have
okay.
to be like, good for you, bitch.
No, I don't. But you know what? The agent that did get it, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, why that? Like,
Why them of what you had going here? Like, you went there. Okay, clearly you're an idiot. Well, whatever.
and then love that. Love the brutal honesty on this episode of Your Morning Drive. I really
And at the moment, I am not in representation of any board or any
sure,
at the
sure.
moment.
So speaking of that, what does that entail? So I mentioned in the intro that you're the president of the
Yeah.
Cherokee Association
Yeah.
for Real Estate.
Cherokee Association of Realtors.
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 Yeah,
You don't go to a
saying that.
you don't go to a docator, you go to a doctor.
Yeah.
So when you need to sell a house,
Realtor.
you don't go to a realtor, you go to a
I
realtor.
used to do
That's
that,
PSA right there.
and then I worked at a small digital marketing company, and a lot of our clients were realtors. And when I got in, my boss was like, "Stop saying realtor because it's not the way it's spelled." Even I was, I don't know why I do that, but realtor.
So
Realtor.
West Coast, you hear it all the freaking time,
Really?
realtor, and I'm like, oh my god. But East Coast, it's more, and especially in the South, it's realtor. You get corrected.
Realtor.
Yeah, realtor.
Fun. Can I tell you about another one of my friends?
Please.
I'm going to tell you about.
I love to hear about your friends. You've got awesome friends.
I have a few friends.
You've got great friends.
I have some really cool friends. In fact, this next friend is going to be real fun. Let me tell you about my new friend. So I told you guys about Branded and Devoted Designs a little earlier, and they help you level up your swag. But you know what? I mentioned that, maybe you have great swag and maybe you're trying to elevate your business online. Well, I know somebody for that. They're called Hammerhead Creations. Let me tell you about them. Hammerhead Creations can help you elevate your business or brand online. They offer top tier marketing services, including social media management, so that you can focus on running your business, website design that will impress your customers and future customers, and Google page optimization, ensuring that your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting like me, they support helping people start their show, helping people edit, helping people cut clips, helping people at being their dedicated producer.
That's freaking cool.
It's really cool. Yeah. They're really cool people. So if you want information about that, you can go to hammerheadcreations.com to learn more and figure out how you can take your business to the next level so you indeed can swim with the big sharks.
I love sharks. You know what?
Do you?
This is like a bucket list that's at the very top right now. I want to go in one of those cages and fucking chum the water and call me a great shark. Like, here, sharky,
Fuck that, dude.
baby shark, do, baby shark.
Catch me not doing that unless, you know what? I do it for charity.
You do it for charity?
I told somebody like
I have a friend
40
named Charity.
episodes ago. Huh?
I said, I have a friend named Charity.
I told someone like 40 episodes ago that that I was going to open some like GoFundMe that's like, hey, if you donate $100,000, I'll go deep sea fishing or swimming with great white sharks. And it's not happened yet. I have not opened up the GoFundMe. And I would take all that money, and of course I would donate it to a charity. I wouldn't take $100,000. I'd pay for my airfare to get wherever I need to go to dive with great white sharks. I heard Australia
and South
really
Africa.
good.
Yes.
So wow, so you've looked into this.
Yeah, I have.
So I would do it for charity. I would pay for my airfare, my hotel stay, whatever I needed to get out there, but the rest of the money, the $95,000 or whatever, I would donate to a local charity. So if someone makes that happen, I'll do it. I won't like it, but I'll do it. Plus, it'd be really cool to be able to show people that Hammerhead Creations swam with sharks, because I am Hammerhead Creations. Oh. Yeah, I just advertise myself.
Okay.
Check that shit out.
Very cool. Well, my son's obsessed with hammerheads. Oddly enough, like I had to order him like these little animal things, like the little plastic ones of sharks, because it came with a hammerhead, and he sleeps with it in his bed.
That is mega cute.
Yeah, he's super cute.
Very cool. Very cool. I had this really, really good question, but I forgot it. And that's a fucking bummer. I hope so. I hope so.
So, real estate.
Yeah.
Clients. All the things.
Talk about things that you hate that clients do.
They lie to you. You think that they think that we're stupid or dumb. It's like, it's the little things. It's like, people, please just be honest. If you're working with another realtor, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
I always found it really like funny, because I used to work at a financial institution that is local.
Yeah, that was my next thing. If you can't afford the fucking house, it's fine. You don't have to. I'm just showing you a house, but at least be upfront.
Well, I was always going to say that I found it so funny when I was like doing loans for people, how often people lied about their income, or like, hey, before I submit your thing, I want to know, do you have like collections or anything? Because I don't want to submit a credit check and it decline automatically because you've got collections and shit. I'm just trying to save you a credit pull.
Yeah.
And people will be like, no. And then you pull it up and you can see their credit report, and they've got like 6 credit cards that have been charged off and shut down. And you're just like,
or like a bankruptcy from last year.
And you're just like, motherfucker, I can see everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, why lie? I'm not
No.
going to judge you. I'm the least judgy person.
Yeah.
I'm sitting across from you trying to help you get to wherever you want to go.
And the truth shall set you free. But no,
And people just lie.
yeah, people lie. That's the hardest thing. It's when they have no intentions or they're just being nosy and you're trying to like, you jump through hoops to make something happen. And like for me, sadly enough, yes, I have put my family aside for business at times. And, I'll jump through hoops for certain clients and then they're just kicking tires. I'm like, I just left dinner with my family and you're bullshitting me. Like, and then you just smile because in this business, it's also something a business where you don't want to burn bridges
Sure.
either. I mean, I'm sure that's a lot of other businesses too, but
But
your
there's less,
reputation,
actually.
yeah, your reputation is everything.
Yeah.
And there have been times where I think to God I didn't lose my shit and say what I wanted to say because 2, 3, 4, 5 months later they come back and you're like, oh,
Hi.
hi.
How are you?
I'm so glad I didn't tell you to fuck off because
Yeah.
wow, this
Yeah.
would have been awkward.
Yeah. And with day and age like today, like it's so easy to just tag your real estate agent on Facebook and just
Mhm.
blast them if you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
shitty experience. I would never do that, but like people do it all the time. You
Oh,
see
yeah.
it in all these Facebook groups and oh,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
use this person. They will fuck you over. And it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
So you
Peop
got to be careful.
Yeah, there's the entitlement phase, the entitlement era, that people are experiencing right now, and mm,
It sucks.
it does. It does when it
There's nothing I hate more than people that think they're entitled to
yes.
something. I was raised with the mindset that my dad taught me and my siblings, no one owes you shit.
Oh,
If you want it, go get it. And anytime someone's just like whining about shit that like, oh, they
nobody
won't
cares, work harder. Nobody cares,
right,
work harder.
nobody cares. Sit down and shut up. Just do the work.
Yep.
That's how I was raised. Maybe it's an asshole way of, but I will live by that and raise our future children like that. Like
Yeah.
no one's going to give you shit. If you
No.
want it, go get it.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm very much the mindset of this sucks. Well, just got to keep
It's a
muscling through
grind.
it. It's a grind. You just have to do it. And so much so that that's the mentality that I have with my kids. And, they see how they're easy their friends have it. In fact, funny, not funny, but when my girls were younger in the neighborhood, we had one of the little girls come over one day and we had this policy, no technology in the rooms, no technology in the basement. If you're having a sleepover and you need to call your mom, you can call your mom. Your phone's right here on the island. It's not going anywhere else. Y'all are having a sleepover and you're going to hang out.
I love that.
And the little girl was like, Miss Diana, you know that y'all are like the strictest parents in the neighborhood. And I'm like, I will wear that as a badge of honor. Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yet y'all are still here.
Yeah. Yep. Very
Because
strict.
my kid is cool as shit.
Yeah, they're all right. No, they're
So
great.
you have a child with Dennis.
Yes.
You
So
guys had your own.
girls are with Asshat, and
Yep.
then our son is with my husband.
Okay.
Current
Lovely.
husband.
I was wondering.
My current husband, not my future husband. I'm kidding. I've got to show him that.
Watch out, Dennis.
There's a TikTok trend, just so that it's a funny thing where you're like introducing your person. You're like, this is my current girlfriend, or this is my current spouse, and then you're
Yeah, I've seen that.
so I don't get in trouble with that one.
When you mentioned, speak kind of in the same vein, there's my TikTok right now is just all videos of people's Ring cameras showing
People
like
slipping and falling.
not even
Oh,
that. I love those.
yeah.
But because I'm a horrible person, I laugh at other people's pain. But all my videos are videos of door-to-door salesmen ignoring like people's no soliciting signs and knocking on the door anyway. And then the person coming out will go, there's a fucking sign. And because the salesperson's always like, hey, sir, I didn't mean to disrespect your sign, but I just wanted to. And he's like, no, 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 no. You said, I don't want to disrespect your sign, yet you're still disrespecting my sign by knocking on my door anyway. And then they like get into an argument and the salesperson's always just like, and then the owner's just like, I have a sign, bro.
Yeah. No, I don't give a shit about signs. So when so when I go door knocking, unless they have like, I have people that are like, I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, call them, tell them I said hi, But then there's signs in the beginning of the neighborhood that say no solicitation. To me, it's like, okay, whatever. I will go and door knock. Like I usually door knock for open houses to invite everybody to the open house.
Sure.
And the only ones I will not go into are the ones specifically that have the no soliciting.
Sure.
it's but I always leave gift bags when I do my door knocking.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing. If I'm
Hmm.
giving you something and you're receiving it, you want to in turn give something back. And it's usually like they'll hear me out without closing the door. I've only been cussed out like really hard one time. And I get it. I didn't realize there was a baby sleeping. So I rang the doorbell. The dogs went ape shit. And the mom came out losing her shit on me. And I'm like, how the fuck was I supposed to know? A note on the door would have been nice, but I didn't say that. I was like, okay, well, have a nice day. And I had my daughter with me too.
Yeah.
So that was fun. People can be really nice.
People can be really nice,
Yeah.
but hey, it's a hard world out there.
It is. Mean streets of Woodstock.
Yeah, for real, for real. So what's next? Gonna keep killing the real estate game? Are there any kinds of other business? I mean, is your husband self-employed or does he have a full-time 9 to 5
So
gig?
he is full-time Woodstock PD.
Oh, duh. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well,
It's okay, my friend.
one thing I wanted to bring up a second ago, but I forgot because 80 is exactly. So like when people say, "Oh, I'm going to call the cops," it's like, it's funny how often people threaten to call the cops, but there's those same people are the ones online that are trashing police officers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, if you want to defund them, then
Guess
who are you going to call when shit's hitting the fan?
Not the Ghostbusters.
Not the Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters will not arrest the armed robbers. But yeah, that's just a little.
No, yeah, that's
throw
one of
out.
my things. Like, if I have a client that you can tell that my clients know me and my personality, so I'm not going to have someone that's very anti-police. Majority of because I'm going into business again, but a majority of my clients are first responders
Sure.
and veterans because that's my niche. That's who I feel I connect with because I can give banter to another veteran and we all have the same, like I said in the beginning, the same camaraderie. So I can give them shit, they give me shit.
Sure.
But at the same time, when I work with our veterans and first responders, specifically what I do for them is a portion of my compensation goes back to them at the closing table. So if I'm representing a buyer, then it goes towards their closing cost.
That's amazing.
I'm representing a seller, then it's a reduction in the list compensation that's for me. And it's something that I've done since I got first licensed. It's something I feel very passionate about. And it's just helping our community folks and just a way of saying thank you. Cause I remember what it's like wearing those uniforms. I remember what the pay was like too, wearing that uniform. And I know every little bit helps. And it's just a way of recognizing and saying thank you.
Sure.
That to me, it just feels good.
Sure.
And I like that.
And they might hear thank you a lot, but to hear or to experience
put your money where your
like
mouth
is like, oh wow, this person actually cares. Not just I saw somebody in uniform at Moe's and I felt like I had to say something to him.
No.
But this is like it's like going and buying that guy his burrito and said, hey, thank you for your service. You did something I could never do. Your lunch is on me today.
Absolutely.
That goes so much farther. Saying thank you, I'm sure. I mean, you could say, do people tell you thank you for your service like I just did?
So yes and no. A lot of times when we go to veteran events, and they'll look to my husband like, oh, thank you for your service, all the things. And then I'm just standing there like, my husband usually he'll speak up and he's like, she's a veteran too. And they're like, oh, thank you too. And I'm like, yeah,
Why does that
motherfucker.
surprise people? I don't know. People just think of the military as predominantly male.
Yes. Oh, yes. Very much so. I mean, so
in
it is absolutely. So in the shop that I was working in, I was one of 3 women out of 150 guys.
Shit.
So I've heard everything. I've heard.
Pickens.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It is really. But I
Stupid.
I heard every hey, because my last name, my maiden last name, the short end of it was Baldy, so they called me Baldy. I'm like, hey, Baldy, well, what time is it? I'm like, I don't fucking know what time it is. Well, you should know, or you know what, you're not barefoot and pregnant in front of a stove. My bad, that kind of stuff. Oh, it was bad.
What does that mean? Barefoot and pregnant in front of the stove?
Yeah, and they're like, what do you say? The whole thing, like, what do you say to a woman with 2 black eyes? I don't know. You've already told her twice, kind of thing. You get all of those.
Maybe I live under a rock, but I've never heard those before. One thing I wanted to bring up, completely switching gears from punching women, is the fact, and we talked a little bit about it before we recorded, but you're a huge Halloweenie.
Oh my God, yes.
And this was the first thing, honestly, quite honestly, and I think even if I go back to my initial me sliding in your DMs on Facebook, I think it was
slid into my DMs.
So slid in. But hey, to be fair, I've slid into so many DMs for one reason and one reason alone, your morning drive. But I slid in because I think I copied off of your profile a picture and sent it to you, and I think it was one of your Halloween pics, and I said,
That sounds.
"Holy shit, you look fun," or something like that.
Yeah, I thought. Yes, I remember that
Yeah,
conversation. Yes.
pretty sure I was like, "Holy shit, you guys do Halloween," because you guys were dressed up as like the
So we've done a couple. So I don't do regular family photos because fuck that. I'm not standing. And if you have done this photo, I'm sure it was beautiful. But I don't do the beach photos. I don't do the let's stand in a field photos. I don't do any of those where we're matchy matchy. I've done it once, and I'm like, this
you
isn't
guys,
me.
Adams family.
Yes, we did the Adams family. So my girls were Wednesday, and my son was Pugsley, and my husband and I were Morticia and Gomez.
So sick.
And then the next time that we did family photos, it was the Twisted Tea Party,
Yeah.
and I was the Queen of Hearts. My husband was the Mad Hatter. My middle daughter was the Cheshire Cat. My oldest daughter was Alice, and our son was the White Rabbit. Oh my God, it was my favorite. And my good friend Sketch, he did the photos. We hired someone to do our makeup. And for the first couple months, I went to get all the teacups and stuff, and we even painted over the teacups. It was a whole thing. Because the other thing that I love is throwing a fucking awesome Halloween party. Oh my gosh, we had 1 year we had a fire show. We have bartenders. We have a photo booth. We have it's catered. What else do we have? Oh, a psychic.
So this is a whole ass thing for you guys.
Oh yeah, this was like the event to be at.
Holy shit.
We've had a drag show. We've had, what else have we done? DJ, all the things. And I take out the furniture in my living room, and it's decorated from top to bottom everywhere, which way and then some. But yeah, we throw down. It's a good time. It's a great freaking time.
Yeah, I definitely want an invite to that because I love Halloween and I typically go above and beyond for Halloween as well. Maybe not crazy above and beyond. Like y'all's pictures were fan-fucking-tastic. And I was like, oh, yeah, this chick rocks. And the fact that your kids are in on it too, it's just perfect. But like, I'll show you some of my Halloween creations. Is last year. Yeah, it was last year. Last year I dressed up as Post Malone.
Okay.
And I did all of the tattoos on my
That's
hands and
hilarious.
face. I have a little cigarette down in there and the Bud Light tall boy.
All of that. That is awesome. You got it all.
So I did country Post Malone.
Oh my gosh.
And then the year before that, I had my wife do my makeup and I was the Joker. And it was so sick. I am looking for the picture right now, but it was so much fun to do that. Oh yeah, here we go. Fire.
Oh my God.
Shaved my beard for it. Like people are like, why are you shaving your facial hair for? I'm like, bro,
Dude, that's all in. That's
for
all. You're all in on that
I want to
one.
do like
Love it.
Pennywise this year. I would
That would be
really
good.
love to do that. I could do a really good impression of Pennywise, like his voice.
Let me hear it.
Oh God, I can't. I could do it, but the camera has to be off.
Okay. We'll do that after the podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that. But I could do a really good impression of him, so it would work really well. But I don't know.
Dude, I love Halloween. I love the scary part of it. So here's the weird, I love Halloween, but the one thing I won't do for Halloween is watch possession movies. Oh God, that scares the shit out of me.
Really?
Fuck
Those are
that.
the ones I see the trailer for in the theater. And I'm like, I'm seeing that shit
Nope.
opening night.
Nope. No. Like I'll watch slasher. I'll watch, all of the classic, the Freddy and all of that.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. But when I can do gore and I can do all of that,
Possession is a hard no.
because that shit is fucking real.
Yeah, it is.
Hell no.
When I was in high school, I'm pretty sure I said this and told this exact story in the last episode. But when I was raised in the Catholic Church, and yeah, that's Catholic mass for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up
and-
Catholic too. I get it.
Yeah. So
I'm like, oh shit, we're doing.
there was a Sunday we were at church when I was in high school, and they were like, hey, the priest at the end of the service was like, hey, by the way, there's this movie coming out next week, and if you see it, you're inviting Satan into your life. And my mom was
The Emily Rose one?
No.
Oh.
So it was The Conjuring. And my mom was just like, you're not seeing it. So I lied to my mother and told her I was going to see Spider-Man or some shit, and I went and saw that movie.
I've never seen it, and I will not see it.
It is Nah, it is still in my top
No,
10 favorite movies
no,
ever. So fucking good.
no, I will not do
But it
it.
is terrifying.
I will not do it.
It is terrifying.
Nope.
Every time I watch it, it's like my first time watching, even though I know exactly what's going to happen.
Nope.
Um,
That's a whole lot of nope.
yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if I do Pennywise this year. I don't know. I kind of don't want to shave again, but I will if I need to.
So for the association, my husband and I, we dressed up, and I was Pennywise, but in the girl
Oh,
costume,
hell
and
yeah.
then he was the brain. What was his name?
Georgie.
Georgie. Georgie. You did it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is for the headphone users there.
So we did, yeah, we did that one. I think one year I had like 4 different costumes. Oh, the first Halloween party, I did a costume change. So I was Pretty Woman, and he would, oh shit, I'm forgetting names.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so he was that, and then we switched, and then I was the sexy nun, and he was the naughty priest.
Sexy nun.
It was funny because it was like my Beyonce moment where I had a costume change and reveal and come down the stairs.
True.
But it's like my night. It's like,
I love Halloween. I love that you guys think of it so highly because I also throw the Halloween party because my friends are like, none of us want to throw a Halloween party. I'm like, oh, I'll take it.
fuck yeah.
And what's funny about it is my wife does not give that much of a shit about Halloween. So every year it's always like me going above and beyond with my costume. And then she's like one year I was Woody from Toy Story. And
Did you do the thing where you fall?
No, but that's a good idea. I was Woody from Toy Story, and she's like, I don't want to like be like anything else. So we bought her a Pizza Planet shirt, and she just wore a Pizza Planet shirt. And like when I was Joker, she like put like a little Red Riding hood on, and she was like Little Red Riding Hood. Like she does not give a shit. She just knows and accepts that
my heart is like,
I know. I just love it.
No, yeah, I loved
I'm
it.
all in.
I freaking love it. So my favorite thing from last year, so our neighbors, our kids are about the same age, and they're in the more part of the cul-de-sac. We're like 3 houses up from the cul-de-sac. And so my husband and I, we did the fog machine. Like
Oh, yeah.
people will drive by our house and they'll bust out the camera to record it. And they're just like, oh my God, I'll have people walking the neighborhood and they're recording it. So I love it. So if you ever want to drive by my house, I'll let you know the address afterwards. But so we were at their house, like not pre-gaming, but just kind of like having some candy and stuff like that for the kids, something to eat. And then adults were drinking. And then we were getting ready to walk out. And so we're walking out because we see trick-or-treaters already started. And so I had the perfect view of our house. And it was so funny. She goes, my neighbor's like, Diana, that kid, the fucking kid, the poor kid took off running, stumbled, tripped, and fell and was crying. It was like trying to get away from my house because he was so scared because I had the creeper. And then the rocking chair lady, but the one creeper came out as one of those motion sensor ones where it'll come out at you. And so when I'm watching this go down in slow motion, I'm like, yes, 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 we did it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. There was a year that when I was in middle school, I'm pretty sure, I was like, I'm going to do it different this year and I'm not going to go trick or treating. But instead, I sat on my parents' front porch with a carved pumpkin on my head and like a black cloak with the bowl of candy in my lap, just like this. And when someone would come up, and then one kid's gut reaction was to punch the pumpkin.
Oh, did that hurt?
I made that up.
Oh, I'm like, that sucks.
No, yeah, it was great. The only thing that sucked was about the next like 4 days I smelled like pumpkin. No matter how much I scrubbed my hair and my head, it was pumpkin.
Oh, wow.
I could wear a whole bottle of cologne and you could still smell pumpkin. And I personally don't love the smell of carved pumpkin or pumpkin in general.
That's
especially when you're engulfed in it.
Yeah, no, I could see how that would get stinky and smelly. And the other weird thing about me for Halloween, I don't like pumpkin spice. Like lattes, but
neither do I. I had one once and I was like, I'm glad I had this so I know to never buy it again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice, not for me.
I love that you are with me on that. Diane, there comes a point in every conversation that I have with my guest that I ask them a collection of questions that have nothing to do with everything we've just talked about. We just talked about your career, your life up until this point, your love for Halloween. But now I'm going to just kind of take you on a first date. These are very basic, fun questions.
Is it like rapid fire where I got to say like first thing that comes to my head or
or we can discuss if needed.
Okay.
There's a couple deep ones in there towards the end, but for the most part, they're very base level.
Okay.
Favorite movie? Go.
Mary Poppins.
Really?
Yeah.
Good choice. I was expecting
Spoonful
like,
of sugar.
yeah, there you go. What was your first job?
Actually, the other one now that I think about it is You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail, Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Yeah.
First job ever. First time you collected a paycheck.
I was working at Harkins Movie Theater.
Hell yeah.
And so like even now the smell of popcorn when it's like it kind of where we have to
No.
dump it in the trash.
Yeah.
it's like all the bleh, still gives me the
I worked at Regal, and my first night they were like, "Hey, buddy, you can take this home." And it was like the 8-gallon bag of popcorn. And I was like, "Let's fucking go." What would be your walkout song?
my walkout song.
Like if you were like entering the wrestling ring to like fight, like what song would be playing as you like enter the room?
That one is going to be it's a song Let's Get Loud by Jennifer Lopez.
Let's Get Loud.
Yes. Let's get loud. Or that or Suavemente by Elvis Crespo.
I don't know how to spell that. So I'm
Suavemente,
gonna...
bésame.
Perfect.
Te quiero sentir tus... Yeah.
You'll know what that means when your episode comes out. Additionally, with music, you get to organize a music festival. You get to pick your 3 headliners.
Okay.
Who are your headliners?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pink, and you know what? If I can bring them back from the dead, I'd throw in some Biggie.
Ooh, okay. Love it. You know who's making waves right now? People are saying he's the new Biggie. I mean,
who this? Who that be?
Maybe not on the same like talent level, but he sounds like Biggie and he looks like Biggie.
Okay.
Maybe he is Biggie.
Maybe he is Biggie reincarnated. Because I think Tupac is still alive too.
It's Big X the Plug.
Big X the Plug.
Hey. Yeah, that's his like signature. Like,
what? I'll have to look that up. I didn't know that. Okay.
Big X the Plug is
Big
fire.
X the Plug. I'll have to check
he puts big in Big X the Plug. I'll tell you
boy.
that. He's like 400 pounds. He's huge, but his beat,
that's what he
his
said.
flow. What?
Nice.
What did I say?
You go, he was huge. He's huge. And I said, that's what he said.
Yeah. Well, he is a huge man. On a day that you're not working in any capacity, how do you take care of yourself? What is self-care like for you?
Did you see that? It was like the filter.
Yeah. It was like, well, hard drugs.
Self-care. I'm gonna go with the vanilla answer of I wash my hair and I don't know. I don't self-care get everywhere I go. I'm like, no, that's nope. I guess get a massage. I haven't gotten a massage in like fucking forever. So
I've never gotten a massage. I would love to get one. I know.
You need to like book that shit for next week.
I should.
Yeah.
I don't. You want to talk about self-care? Guess who doesn't do any self-care? This guy.
No.
I just don't for some reason. I need to prioritize myself.
I do like getting my toes done. I don't like crusty toes and crusty feet. And I like having my toes polished. So I guess that's self-care, right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's my G-rated answer.
Well, now I want to know the other answer, but we'll get there one day. What is some advice that you were given at any point in your life that kind of you still stick by and still find true to this day?
I don't know if it was advice that was given to me or something that I read. I can't remember which came first or how the form came about, but it's be the person you needed when. That's what I always stick to. That's what I think about in my head. So be the friend that you needed when you didn't have friends. Be the person because again, like I said, my stepmom got me my first deal in Arizona, and that was a good experience. The other deal that I had coming out here, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was by myself, and I didn't feel empowered. I didn't feel educated. So be the realtor that you needed when. So that's the other part where I come from a place of I didn't like this experience that I had, so I want to make sure that it's even better for the people, and the mistakes that happened, I want to make sure don't happen. So I cross those things off the list and make sure that people are taken care of. So yeah, be the person you needed when.
Very good. What is your biggest fear?
Snakes. Don't like snakes.
Valid.
Funny, not funny. Tomorrow I'm going to have pictures taken at a new listing. It is in a little bit of rough condition, as we say, needs TLC. And it just so happens that they have a reptile room. So there are 3, 4 snakes, an iguana, a gecko, a bearded dragon. Yeah. And
I
one of
have a
them,
question. Are they serial killers?
uh, no, serial killers don't scare me.
I meant the people.
Oh, no, they're not serial killers. I'm like, serial killers don't scare me because they're not going to kill me. Like, we're totally fine. I'll high five them. Like, they can kill somebody else, not me.
True. Oh, hey, man, I'll help you
Dude,
get
I'm,
them.
I'm your people. Like,
Right, like
I can tell you how to,
you.
yeah, I can tell you how to get out of this shit. Like, don't do that. No, I'm kidding. You see too many like true crime shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. So many. Too many documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
And then lastly, Diane, what's your main motivator? What pushes you? What keeps you going? What is your morning drive?
What keeps me going is I'm allergic to poverty. So I do not want to, I've been broke and we all have our story of comebacks and, like 20 cents in the bank account kind of situation. I don't ever want to go there. I don't ever want to be there again. And so it's always like it's day one where it's like, shit, I don't have anything. I gotta go hunt. I gotta go hunt. I gotta make money. I gotta make money. I gotta make money. And it's good and not good. It sometimes, and it drives me crazy because it's like, can't you just be happy, Diana? And then at times it's like, no, this is a purpose because this allows me to provide for my family. It allows us to have experiences that I didn't have growing up. So that's what drives and motivates me is just that want and hunger for, I know I can achieve so much more and I know I can be better. And I have to do this for my future self. So I'm working on things now that I know my future self wouldn't take no shit on. Does that make any sense? Does it
Yeah.
take any shit on? Not no shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes total sense.
So yeah.
Very good. Very good. Now, my friend,
Yes,
you get to advertise. Tell the people who you are, how to find you, what you offer, and how to get in contact with you.
okay. Well, so my name is Dianna Hornes. I don't know what to do with my hands. If you're listening, you didn't get that, but whatever. Let's see. So, like I mentioned before, I am very passionate about helping folks because my thing is in my head is there are so many agents out there, or they're agents and realtors, and there's a difference. But there are so many folks out there that are doing this willy-nilly. They're doing this half-ass, or they don't really care. They don't have the right intentions to help people, and they're just seeing it as a paycheck because people think real estate is easy, which real estate is easy, but I mean, it's not hard, but it's not hard, but it's not easy either. That's what I was trying to say. And to me, it's just one of those where realtors differentiate themselves, they separate themselves, and there are people that don't really have a heart in this business, and I know that I do. And I don't know. I don't like waving a carrot of I'm going to give you money and all this shit, but yeah, it's what I do and it's how I help people. But there's something else in there and it's friendship. So, I mean, you can buy a fucking house, but you're not going to get a friend. You buy a house with me, you get a friend. I'm not really good at this selling shit like this. This is weird. This is uncomfortable a
No,
little
you're not
bit.
good at this. You're the president of the Cherokee
Realtor Association.
Realtor Association. You got to be able to sell yourself, girl.
I know. It's one of
You're
those
selling homes, sell yourself.
My name's Dianna. I actually give a shit. And if, folks want to work with me, I would love the opportunity to meet with them. And yeah, you can throw a rock and hit 20 different realtors in a crowd, but you throw a rock and we're going to be fighting too. So we're going to have some fun. And when it comes to the Cherokee Association of Realtors, we advocate for private property rights, for home ownership rights. We're there for the realtors to make sure that the business is streamlined and realtors are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we are advocates for the public and for realtors. So I firmly believe in that and the behind the scenes of that. But when it comes to me selling myself, I mean, if you want to work with me, I would love the opportunity. But if you don't, that's fine. And I wish you well. I mean, I'm not going to beg people to work with me.
There you go.
So
Perfect. Well done.
Thank you.
Guys, I'll make sure to put the link to Diane's socials.
Oh, yeah. Dianna Atlanta on, and forgive me because I'm trying to break out into my TikTok world. And it's so funny. My girls give me so much shit. They're like, oh my God, Mom, I can't believe you posted that. I'm like, whatever.
I can't wait to follow now.
Dianna Atlanta.
Very fun.
Yeah.
I'll put the links to those socials in the description of the episode so that if you're interested in anything that we talked about, we can, or that you can scroll down, tap the link, get in contact with her if you need to, and you can start that process with her. Diane, thank you
Logan,
for
thank
doing
you.
this with me.
Thank you for the opportunity. I felt like I rambled, but isn't that what a podcast is all about?
That's what a podcast is all about, and you did great. Thank you again for your service and for your husband's service. I appreciate that.
Thank you for my lovely drink. It was delicious. I drank the whole thing.
Yes, you did. So now we have to wait in the parking lot for a while.
Drinking water.
I'm fine. But yeah, I'm lucky to know you. I'm lucky to now call you a friend.
Yes.
And I wish you continued success.
Also, if you need help with real estate, I know a girl.
Guys, again, her stuff's going to be in the description. My stuff will be in the description. Shout out to Fireworks. Shout out to Good Days. Shout out to Branded and Devoted Designs and Hammerhead Creations for making all of this possible. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.